Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
Whenever you think about the Seattle Seahawks, one of the first things that pops to mind is how well they run the football and how much they like doing it. But you have to also look at how well Russell Wilson has played at the quarterback spot. Hasn't just been a game manager. Last year, over 4,100 yards passing, the second most in his career. 31 touchdown passes and took care of the ball as well because he threw just 5 interceptions. If you need to open things up, Russell Wilson can get it done.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd. So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. On first down, it's Carson, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that's good.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett, 45 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Broncos offense set to go behind their quarterback in his second season now from Missouri, Charles. It's Drew Lock.
What a roller coaster for Drew Lock from the NFL draft until the end of his rookie season, because on draft night he thought he might go in the first round. Ended up going in. In the second, and then didn't get to start with the Broncos until near the end of his rookie year. But the Broncos did go 4-1 in those games, and he played very well, working on his agility and his pocket presence in the offseason. And I love how the Broncos upgraded around him in order to give him more weapons.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a pickup.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
29-yard line.
Now the first carry here for Philip Lindsay. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense.
I tell you, he brings the wood when he comes flying up in run support. He may be a safety, but he hits like a linebacker.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score Seahawks 7, Broncos nothing.
But I can't go. No, I can't go. And whoa, sometimes I need a check.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Block working out of the gun. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. The 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Open is Olsen. He's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks. Touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return is Spencer. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Denver Broncos here. They're coming back out on offense, Charles. But, you know, this is a team right now really struggling. 2020 not starting the way that they had hoped. Not by a long shot. Fell to 0-3 with a 28-10 loss to Tampa at home in Week 3. And Jeff Driscoll making his first Broncos start. In for the injured Drew Lock. Didn't really do a whole lot. Threw for 176 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And he was sacked 5 times.
And probably was happy to go to the bench because he was replaced by Brett Rippon before the game was over. But the week before, he had played pretty darn well. You know, when he'd come off the bench when Drew Lock had gotten hurt against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the momentum didn't keep going, and they continue to struggle. Thursday night's a big one for them against the Jets in the New York, New Jersey area for that game, and then they have to go to New England as well. Not an easy schedule for the Broncos coming up, trying to get that first win.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Open man, he completes it to Judy.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The kick by McManus is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
Broncos 3.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second.
$1, baby.
They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
3. Jason Myers to kick off.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
He'll start things with a handoff to Lindsey.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Great Diggs on the tackle.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, it's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They run again with Carson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 47-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big pickup of 38.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
They ain't on outside.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Rolling to his right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
On the return is Spencer. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Spencer on the return. The Broncos take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Clock now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Locke. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the rookie Jerry Jeudy there. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Locke. Has pass incomplete. Philip Lindsay, the intended target, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant, 55 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
For the extra point.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. But they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Carson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first, and it'll bring up 3rd down now. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
This is unbelievable.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Locke to throw for it on 4th. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And 10 at the 49-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. That's going to be caught by Judy. So the victory here for Seattle. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.